Hello, this is Christina Yonkman, and I'm going to share with you my module about internal and external communication. You will see here the Garden City Achieve Communication Plan, and I have divided our internal and external um, communication plans into sections. So on the left-hand side, you'll see our internal, and I have listed these according to what I felt like was kind of the most important, the ones that we use the majority. So we start with our internal. We have daily communication with our students. We also have parents. Then I divided it into two different sections with our staff. I have our building certified, classified, and administrators. And then I separated out our district certified, classified, and administrators. We are a large district. However, Garden City Achieve is one of the smaller schools because we are the alternative setting. So that's why I decided to separate those out because of the way we are set up and as far as the size of our building. And then last on that internal side, I included our school board. Over on the right hand side, you'll see our external features, and I put parents at the top of the list there. Our student centered, which would be like our Stuco, any of our student events that happen. Like I said, we're a small building, so we don't have a lot of we don't have like sports, we don't have band, choir, all of the extras. We do offer, like I said, Stuco. We're starting some other clubs and organizations, so that's where those would fall. I included Garden City Community College because we work with them a lot as far as our college and career readiness with our students. And then I also included electronic and print media. We do a lot of communication through our Skyward, which is our student database. We also use Remind as a district-wide communication tool. And then I do a lot as far as the counseling department and on our high school side with the print media. We do a lot of Facebook, Twitter, and then, of course, the print would be through the newspaper or when we do like printed grade cards or any type of letters that would go home, maybe possibly graduation type letters. I included our Garden City Police, Fire, our Finney County Sheriff, and our EMS because they work closely and directly with the school quite a bit, and there's a lot of communication there as far as when we have either issues arise or a DCF report. Some of our students live out of the city limits, so that's when the Sheriff's Department is involved. We have a on-site school resource officer that we share, and so they're part of the Garden City Police Department. So they are included in a lot of our communication. I included our ministerial alliance in the county because our churches are very active with our schools. And so I included them as far as communicating. And then the bottom part, these people are a huge asset to our building. And especially, like I said, since we're small and we have limited resources and limited staff, we do rely and communicate with these community groups quite often. Live Well Finney County is a grant-based program that we work a lot with. We do grants through the United Way. We have Compass Behavioral Health in our building. They work with some of our therapeutic students. There's some other ones listed there as far as the Chamber, the Downtown Vision, our health department. We communicated with them a lot during COVID, but we still do work with them. We work with the Genesis Family Health. We have a Big Brothers Big Sisters, and then Western Kansas Community Foundation is a huge part as far as grants and scholarships for our students. So that is how I divided my internal and external communication plan. In the bottom left, you will see, and I hope my time is not covering up too much of that, but you can see if you scan that QR code, that will take you directly to our district technology and communication plan. Okay, moving on, I want to share with you how I divided the types of distribution out, and I divided those between oral, written, and digital. I have a list there you can see underneath oral. We talk and communicate a lot just orally with our students, parents, staff, administration, and school board. Again, we involve the college, our student activities, and the rest of those that are listed there, we communicate with them more through verbal and oral communication. Then I divided the written down. This is going to be where we do weekly grade progress reports. We send out letters. We send out minutes of a meeting or any type of electronic media where we post on Remind, social media, um, Skyward. Like I mentioned, Skyward earlier, we can send emails and post to student and parent calendars through our Remind app, or excuse me, through our Skyward app. And so those would all be listed underneath the written distribution. And then I also included our Ministerial Alliance and our community groups because we do probably more through our written and social media and communicating through email. I guess I've neglected to mention email at all. That is definitely a form of written that we use with all of these groups. And then last, we have our digital. Again, we do a lot through our Remind, our Facebook, our Twitter, students, parents, and staff, and then, of course, the administration and the school board in the district. This is where the electronic media comes in that I just mentioned. We do a lot through Garden City Community College. We use their website. Our students communicate with them through their applications. Our student-centered activities, we do a lot of communication and advertising and advocating through our digital means. And then the last ones that are listed, we also include all of those groups through our digital means. I need to back up. I misspoke. When I said electronic media earlier under written, it should have been print media, and that would include our Garden City Telegram. It has changed hands over the last couple years, and it's not quite as useful as it used to be, but that is an option that we still use, is our Garden City Telegram. Okay, then moving down to the bottom of the page, I want to explain about our diverse populations. Our school district has quite a bit of diversity, and we have multiple languages spoken throughout the district. So in order to reach those populations, we do use oral and written translating, and we even have I believe it's pronounced Proprio program that we use where you can call in and there's like, I don't know, 40 to 80 different languages spoken that you can get a translator and do an over the phone translation. Our district has provided that and taken care of the cost of that for us, but it is available for us. We also have non-English radio and TV stations in the area, and we also have non-English news publications and magazines that are printed in the county. We also reach out to a number of multicultural groups, and this could be anything from community groups to our Ministerial Alliance. We have, I know of some Spanish-speaking church services on Sundays. So I feel like our school and our community does a really good job of reaching those diverse populations through those means. And then last here on this page is our two-way communication. And what I did here is I just divided this. The top half of the page is publics that communicate the most about these areas, and then the bottom is the ones that should be involved. So starting with the top, the ones that communicate the most, the first section we're going to talk about is the current and future success and well-being of each student and adult. And I listed these in the order of importance that I feel like our district, whether it's positive or negative, I feel like this is how our district handles it. And so to start with, I feel like our building staff and administrators, our district staff and administrators, our school board, and our parents, kind of in that order, are the ones that really communicate most about the well-being of each student and adult. And then when we start talking about engaging families and the diverse community and school personnel to strengthen our student learning, I feel like it has come to our electronic and print media as probably the most used. Our building staff and administrators, of course, reaching out, and then community groups. As far as supporting school improvement, I feel like it starts with our building staff and administrators, and then it kind of flows down into our district staff and administrators, and then to our school board. And then I also wanted to include our student-centered here because this is really important. I feel like when students are involved or they're in a student group, that really does improve their student improvement. They want to be in school, and so that helps a lot of times with their success. And then last in this category, advocating for the needs of their school and community. I feel like in our building, especially our building staff and administrators do an amazing job. We have a great group of teachers and we have a new administrator over the last couple of years. And so that has changed a lot and we really um, have made a lot of changes and done a lot of advocating for the needs of our school. Since we're an alternative center, sometimes people have a negative connotation towards it. And so that's kind of been a goal of our building is to really get our name out there, get our reputation out there and let people understand that it's a place for a lot of different students and that it's not just where, either students that are in trouble or behind in credits go, but they go there for a lot of reasons. So building and staff and the administrator has really done a great job of that. Again, I listed student-centered here because our Stuco does an awesome job of getting things out to the community and advocating what they want in our building. In addition, we are just starting Leader in Me, and so that will also come in here in the next couple months and into the next year. Our students and our student groups will be advocating for their own needs. And then I included community groups just because of the way our building is set up and the fact that we have to rely on outside resources so much. Our community groups help us do an amazing job advocating for those needs. And then last, I listed our police, sheriff, fire, and EMS because they do work closely with some of our students and some of our programs. Okay, then last, I wanted to share what I feel like our publics should be involved. And this was kind of hard to do, but I really feel like we probably need to show improvement in these areas. So I start with the current and future success of students and staff. And I feel like our students need to be more involved. And as I mentioned just a little bit ago, we're starting Leader in Me. So I feel like that's going to change over the next semester or year. But that is something that we need to work on with our students. And I really think that program will help with that. I also feel like Garden City Community College, there could probably be more communication there just because the majority of our students, if they do go to college, they're going to go to the community college here because of the cost and the basically just the convenience that it's here in town. Not that we don't communicate well with the college, but I feel like there could be more communication. Second, the engaging families and our diverse community and school personnel to strengthen our student learning. Again, I feel like the students can become more involved with this, and I hope in time with Leader in Me that happens. I believe with our building, especially our district staff and administrators could become more involved. Sometimes with us being an alternative in a smaller school, um, it's almost like they forget about us or we're not included or we're kind of like a last minute thought. So I feel like that could happen there with district staff and administrators and also the school board. And again, I don't want to make it sound negative. Our new administrator and our teachers over the last couple of years have made a huge improvement. And so I think this is getting better, but I still feel like there is still room for improvement. As far as supporting school improvement, I feel like our students, again, could be more involved. They could get more involved as far as graduation credits and taking ownership in their school improvement. And again, I think Leader in Me is going to help with that. And I also feel like our parents can. We are doing a better job as a building communicating with parents, and I think our parents are becoming more comfortable with coming to the school and being involved, but we are reaching out and trying to do more things like that through graduation conferences, parent-teacher conferences. Just we had a community parent night, so things like that. And I think our parents are starting to learn more and feel closer to feel more comfortable coming into the building. And then the last section is advocating for the needs of our school and community. And again, I listed students. I feel like students just all together can be more involved, as well as parents, our district staff and administrators, and school board. And again, I think as our building and our current administrator, we continue to advocate, I think these other areas will become more involved. I feel like we could do more through electronic and print media. I feel like we do now as far as the things that we do, but I think we need to do more advocating and just getting the information out there, just putting out some just information about our school so that families are aware of it, the community is aware. We've talked about doing like a little video that explains what is the Garden City Achieve, who wants to come here, why do they come here, what all do we have to offer. And then last is the Ministerial Alliance, and I believe that they have some awesome programs in place and some great ideas, but I do feel like they could probably advocate more as far as our individual building is concerned. So that kind of ends my presentation here as far as where I feel like communication, we have strengths and weaknesses and who we involve and possibly why we involve them. So thank you so much for your time.